First road win of the season. Let's go. Knicks family, do not forget, January 21st, Martin Luther King's Day. Knicks versus the Oklahoma City Thunder at Madison Square Garden. It's a matinee day game. So bring your kids, bring your family. Private lounge on Chase Bridge. Food and non-alcoholic beverages included. Courtside at the pregame shoot-around and a mini tour of MSG. I want to see you there. Let's go. About 24 tickets remaining. Get yours now. Knicks family, what's popping, man? Very good win by the New York Knicks. Very, very good win. I'm ecstatic to see this win. Our first road win of the season. The Knicks are now 3-6 on the season. Very, 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 very good. Very good win. And, what can we say? Young guys came through. Mitchell Robinson. Allonzo Trier, they came through. They did their thing. And listen, I was totally wrong. I really did think that DeAndre Jordan was going to eat Mitchell Robinson's food tonight. But he did not. DeAndre Jordan asked Mitchell Robinson for his cornbread. And Mitchell Robinson said no. Punched him in the mouth. I love what I seen from Mitchell Robinson tonight. I love it, man. Love what I seen from Mitchell Robinson tonight. First career double-double. 10 points, 10 rebounds, I believe he had on the night. It doesn't get much better than this win for the Knicks at this point in the season, I think. I mean, of course, we could have won some of these other games, but very good win, and I'm very happy with this victory. Now, there are definitely a lot of storylines in this game to talk about. Trey Burke, we need to talk about that. His minutes are dwindling. Dwindling. It's like David Fisdale gave him a bone. Said, go out to the doghouse. Because he's in David Fisdale's doghouse right now for whatever reason. It seems like he is. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss why. I think I know why. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know why. But listen, as much as I never believed that Trey Burke was going to be the Knicks' long-term point guard, his work ethic, the things that I seen in the preseason, just, from the way it seemed that he wanted it, had me believing that maybe he was going to play very, very well. And I'm not going to say he's played super bad, but we did see, what David Fisdale wants, he doesn't give right now. But we'll get to that. We'll talk about Trey Burke and his dwindling of minutes, dwindleization of minutes. I like to make up words. It's fun. But until then, let's talk about the box score of this game. Let's recap the game. Give a nice rundown of the game. Right? The game was, of course, the big names that people wanted to look at was Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr. Them two guys matching off. And then Luka. See what Luka is about. He's the truth. Luka's the truth. He is. I mean, listen. I look at Luka out there. He looks like a vet to me. From the way he plays, he looks like a veteran. He's the truth, man. And then of course Tim Hardaway. Can Tim Hardaway continue to play well? And the Knicks stepped up to the plate tonight. They did what they should have done with this team. They did what they should have done. So I feel good about this win all the way around. There's some guys I want to see do, some better things out there, but I feel good all the way around. All right, so let's take a look at the matchups and some of the stats, and just do a quick rundown of the game. The Knicks won the first quarter. Of course, that's one of our keys to the game. Right? They won that first quarter. 33-27. Second quarter was not good for the Knicks. And maybe it was, Moutier got in. He was one of the first two guards off the bench with Allonzo Trier. So maybe it took a little bit of time for that chemistry to come together, or, just for them to get used to each other's tendencies and stuff like that. Right? So the Knicks gave back what they built in the first quarter. They gave it back in the second quarter, losing 32-23. But then the Knicks clamped down. And I was afraid after the third quarter, when the Knicks had pulled, they pulled away with a 7-point lead, and then the bench players began to come in. I was a little bit nervous that they would give it back, but they didn't. They extended the lead. The Knicks won the third quarter 33-18, and then we had a solid fourth quarter, tying the fourth quarter 29-29, leading to a 12-point victory for the New York Knicks. So that's very good. Very, very good. Very good. The Knicks' biggest lead was 17. The Mavs' biggest lead was 7. 9 lead changes. Tied 4 times. The longest run was 8. The Knicks had a very good night from the field. Shooting 54.8% from the field. This is what we've been looking for. And they shot 54.8% even though they shot 24% from the three-point line. They still shot at a high percentage for the game. 73% from the line. The Knicks and the Mavs tied the rebounding battle 40-40. Neither team is really a good rebounding team. Neither team is. So, they played each other. That kind of offset each other, as you can see. Assists. The Knicks had 26 assists tonight. That's what we need. We need that. That's what we need to see. And hopefully, maybe we found something. Now, we're playing a team that's probably on a lower level in defensive efficiency or defensive rating. But maybe this is what we needed. 13 steals tonight, 4 blocks, only 12 turnovers. It's a really nice game for the Knicks. The Mavs shot 49.4% from the field, 37.9% from 3. They shot 62% from the free throw line. They had 18 turnovers. The Mavs had 18 turnovers. And the Knicks capitalized off of those turnovers. So, good game by the New York Knicks. Very good game. Looking at the box score, the Knicks, Damian Dotson, 11 points, 5 for 13 from the field. Noah Vonleh, 4 points, 3 rebounds. Damian Dotson had 8 rebounds, by the way. Star of the show for the big men, Mitchell Robinson, 13 points, 5 for 6 from the field. 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. What a beautiful game by the young guy. Beautiful game. Tim Hardaway Jr., 7 for 17 from the field for 41%. 18 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 steal. Frank Ntilikina, 32 minutes, 7 points, 25% from the field, which means that 38% that he's been shooting from the field is going down again. He's now shooting about 35% from the field on the season. Frank's got to get in the gym before the game, after the game, get some shots up, man. Get some shots up. We need him knocking those shots down. Tonight it didn't really affect us. But we need him to knock down those open shots. You got an open shot, you got to knock it down. You know what I mean? Still, he had 7 assists, 3 turnovers, 3 steals, 1 block. He had something to deal with Dennis Smith Jr. tonight. Lance Thomas, 10 points, 3 for 4 from the field. 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. And that's Cantor, 13 points, 5 rebounds. We need more than 5 rebounds from Cantor. But Cantor's he's in his emotions right now. You know what I mean? He's in it. Mr. GQ NYC, what's poppin', my friend? What's up? Thank you for the super chat. He said, "What's up to the Knicks chat? It's so exciting to see a Knicks team play so hard." Mitchell, wow, exactly. Very exciting to see these guys play the way that they're playing. They're playing very hard, and it's just satisfying to see it. It really is. It is very satisfying. Emmanuel Mudiay came in and gave us some very good minutes, I think. 6 points, 3 for 5 from the field. Played for 15 minutes. 4 assists, 2 rebounds. One turnover, 3 steals. He gave us some really good minutes tonight, playing in his hometown. Allonzo Trier stole the show. Him and Mitchell Robinson stole the show. Allonzo Trier, 23 points, 8 for 10 from the field, 33% from 3. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 turnovers. I don't care about those turnovers. Allonzo Trier needs to be getting 30 minutes a game, I think. I'm sorry. He needs to be getting 30 minutes a game. And down the stretch, he needs to be in the game and get the ball in his hands, because he can create for us. He can score. You know what I mean? The kid is powerful. He goes to the basket with power. He can score through fouls. He can shoot the jumper and knock it down. He can pull up. I like what he gives us, man. I really do. Allonzo Trier needs to be in the game. I'm not sure how much time he has left on his 45-day contract. But those guys up there, they got a decision to make. How do you make a roster spot for him? Because there is no way that Allonzo Trier goes to the G League. He's not playing a minute in the G League. There's no way that he does. So something's got to happen soon. And as a matter of fact, I can go to knicksfilmschool.com. And if you haven't been there, check it out, knicksfilmschool.com. Because they have a ticker for Allonzo Trier's 45 days. At least they did have a ticker. Maybe it's gone. Maybe it is gone. Well, I thought it was up there. Maybe it's gone. Yep, it's gone. I don't see it anymore. So I'm sorry about that. It's not there. I thought I was going to find it on Knicks Film School. Anyway, I'm not sure how much time he has left, but the Knicks will have a decision to make fairly soon. Trey Burke, as I mentioned, 6 minutes tonight. 2 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. His minutes are dropping, and they are dropping fast, really fast. And we're going to talk in the chat right now about that. Why? Why do you think? Is it simply because he can't run the offense? Or is it because, of his limitations defensively? Is it his attitude? Let's talk about it. Let's see. I want to know, because his minutes are dropping rapidly, and I don't know. It doesn't look to me like he's going to be getting those minutes back. Because Mudiay played well today. And if Mudiay can continue to play as well as he is, as well as he did today, and you know what? He doesn't have to score a bunch of points. Like I said in the last stream, and some people looked at me, they laughed, and they said, ha, 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 that I brought up Mario Chalmers. But the facts are the facts. David Fizdale is used to having point guards in the mold of Mario Chalmers, Mike Conley, guys that aren't really concerned about their shot. Although Mike Conley, can give you 17 a game, does give you about 17 a game. I'm not sure what he's averaging now, but yeah, those are guys that are concerned with running the offense, getting people in their spots, playing defense. And it seems that's what David Fizdale is used to and what he's comfortable with. Can both Ntilikina and Mudiay can stand to improve on defense? Of course they can. Even though Ntilikina is a very good defender, he can still improve. So it looks like to me that's what David Fizdale is comfortable with, and that does not bode well for Trey Burke. So let's talk to the chat a little bit. Before we do that, let's talk to the chat now. I'll ask that questions. I want you guys to answer it, and then we'll start talking about these keys review. We'll do a quick review of our keys to success. Then we'll get into talk about Trent Robinson, because I know people want to talk about him. I want to talk about him because, they did their thing tonight, and I'm impressed, very impressed. All right, so let's Let's get right in here, man. Let's get right in here. As soon as there we go. Let's get right in here. Let me see who we got. We got Nate with us. We got Aunt G. We got Isaiah with the NBA, with the NBK kickoff shirt on, no doubt. And Isaiah, you can see the bucket too, right? Right. If I can get it right. There we go. You can see the bucket. I got the bucket. My man Mogul Talk. Big shout out to Mogul Talk. Hit me up with the bucket hat, with the Nothing But Knicks bucket hat. You know what I'm saying? And we got a couple of things to work out, but we're gonna have some more made. So if you're interested in one, as soon as they're ready, they'll be on my website. They're not ready now, but they will. So yeah, you'll be able to hit me up with that. We got Guillermo, we got the Prince, we got Nate. We're gonna talk about it a little bit. Let me get to a couple of these super chats. Get to a couple of super chats right quick, and then we can go to the video chat. All right. Big shout out to Demo B. He said Frank's not garbage. Is a big piece to the puzzle. Trier will never see the league, G League. No, Frank is not garbage. Anyone who says that, they just, they're just trying to throw some hate out there. Can Frank get better? Of course he can. He can get a lot better. Part of it is his mindset. He has the ability and he has the talent. Everything with Frank is here. It's all up there. When Frank gets into those moments where he decides, I want to get mine. And that's the biggest thing with Frank. He never gets in those moments. Every other player does. He never gets into those moments where he's just like, okay, I haven't taken a shot. I'm going to get mine. When he learns or decides to do that, and maybe he never will. When he decides to do that, he'll be a more effective scorer when he decides to do that. Right now, he's still kind of, he's the guy that's not worried about his shot, and that's okay too. But I would like to see just a little bit more of that tenacity, just a little bit more of that. Okay, I'm going to get mine. We'll see if he develops that. Maybe being around Trier, Tim Hardaway, and those guys, maybe he will. Or maybe being around those guys, it kind of forces him to say, I don't need to. So we'll see. But I ain't mad at Frank. You know what I mean? Because I don't expect Frank to be a big scorer. That's just is what it is. I don't expect it from him. I expect him to do exactly what he's doing. I would like to see this. Let me say this. I expect him to be able to shoot better than he's shooting. He's shooting the last two games, he shot 25% from the field. Excuse me. I expect him to be able to shoot better than that. I want him to be at least 45%. You guys know my numbers. I like that 45% clip. But he's got one more year for me. He's got one more year before I start to really get on him and say, okay, Frank, you got to turn it up. Got one more year for me. You know what I'm saying? A rookie comes in the league, I'm giving him a 3-year grace period. Justin Smith said Allonzo Trier went from ISO Zo to ISO no to ISO yo. He is Starks 2.0, not Hardaway. I don't know if he's Starks 2.0. Starks never had the kind of handle that Trier has. I don't think Starks had the same kind of one-on-one ability that Trier has. I know that's, I think Clyde before said something about Allonzo Trier being a second coming of Starks. I don't know. I don't think they really play the same. Heem Dream, thank you for the super chat. You said outstanding team game. Props to Fizz on a rotation tonight. Made the right calls even with foul trouble. No fear. Trier and Money Mitch balled out. Yes, they did. They balled out. And Francis Jella, thank you for the super chat. You said, Sim, who will be out in the rotation in bigs when KP is back? That's a very good question. We'll see. I guess we'll see how that works out. Let's put it like this. When KP is finally back, let's look at it towards next year, right? Cantor probably won't be here. So that, that's going to open up something. The 4 spot right now really is up in the air. You got Vonleh playing that spot right now. He's not going to stay there when KP comes back. Maybe Kevin Knox plays that spot. And then the 3 spot is still kind of up in the air as well. So, I think what you're looking at when KP comes back, and if you're looking forward into the future, you're looking at, Tim Hardaway at the 2, probably Kevin Knox at the 3, KP at the 4, and Mitchell at the 5. I think that's probably what you're looking at when you're talking about the bigs. Noah Vonleh off the bench, and there's Cantor probably not here. And then, whoever else comes in and fills in those areas. But I think that's what you're looking at, Francis. Armando Chico, thank you for the super chat. You say Trey and Robinson are going to be key pieces of the Knicks' future. They're key pieces of the Knicks' future, and they're key pieces of the Knicks' present. Yeah, I'm with you 100%. Thank you guys for the super chat. I truly, truly appreciate it. So now let's get to the guys in the shit. And we see Viv is still there with the Knicks Film School at the Knicks Film School party. A little get together. I'm sure he's having a good time there. But I want to talk about Trey Burke, you guys, before I get to these keys review. Talk to me a little bit. Let me see. I might as well start with Viv.
Start with me, Sim.
Viv, what's popping, bro? What's going on with you?
Listen. Shout out Isaiah, shout out Guillermo, shout out Nate, shout out Angie, shout out Prince, right? Listen, we had a party to everybody right now. We had no business with this game right now. I'm not drunk right now. I'm good right now.
He said not drunk. I don't know, man.
I got the party right now.
I don't know, man.
But listen,
who we got in the house there? Who we got in the house there right there, Viv? Who was that? Who did you just show us, man?
We played a good game right now.
Played a great game. Who you got in the house with you, Viv? Who's in the house with you? Who's there?
I got, Terry and Trey just left right now.
Okay.
But we had Nigga Time TV. We had Nigga Time TV. We got Nick Film School. Nigga Time TV filming right now. There are a bunch of people here. But anyways.
Okay. I don't know. You know what, guy? I think Viv is a little bit tipsy, my friend.
No. I got you. I'm back. Listen, Sim. Listen. I'm gonna be on for 30 seconds, right?
Okay.
Listen. We had no business winning this game, right? But somehow we scored more than 25 assists, right? So we had, somehow Mitch Robinson, I was loving Mitchell Robinson tonight because he played more than 30 minutes tonight. No.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson did his thing
had
tonight.
More than 30 minutes tonight. He had 3 assists tonight, right? He was balling out.
All right, man. I'm gonna let you go ahead and get to your part. I'm gonna let you go ahead and get to those guys, man. All right. Looks like you guys had a good time out there. I'm glad you guys had a good time. And let's get along. Viv did his thing tonight, y'all. You can see it. Viv did his thing. Viv was out there getting it in tonight. Go ahead, Viv. I'm with it. All right. Isaiah, what's popping, man? Before you
can we make? Oh, wait, what the hell, man?
But before you even give us the rundown of the game, I just want to know what you think about Trey Burke, his lack of minutes, his loss of minutes. What do you think? He played 6 minutes tonight.
Listen, Sam. I love Trey Burke. I love his story.
Mm-hmm.
And I love he worked his way back to the league, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to how can I say this? It's like Viv is really drunk right now.
I know he is.
But seriously though, it's sad to say that I think Trey Burke's hold on, I gotta mute. Let me mute Viv real quick. Let me mute Viv.
Yeah, all
right. No, but he's really on one. That's funny, yo. He's gonna look at this video. You're like, oh, what the hell? But no, you know what, Sim? And it's sad to say that I think Trey Burke will run last year. I don't want to call it a fluke, but the way it's looking, it looked like a fluke. it looked like it was like, okay, nobody knew I was coming, so I surprised people on a bad team. And you know, in the way Frank is playing. He's a point guard. It's clear as day now. These last 3 games have proved to me that Frank's a point guard, and that's his position. That is Frank's position, and it's just, you know, it's just what it is right now. And I just don't think he can do it.
Okay, so
I like Trey. I really do. He has effort and he plays the right way. It's just his style of play is just not fitting what the team needs.
Yeah.
His ISO dribbling from west to east is just, we need flowing offense. If you're gonna have players like Tim Hardaway and Allonzo Tier, you're gonna need a flowing offense around them, so they can actually be good and, you know, be successful. That's what they need. They don't need a point guard to be ISOing.
Yeah. All right. Let me talk to Prince. Let me talk to Prince for a minute, because I know Prince, you know, Moutier got a chance to get on the floor, so I know Prince was happy. You know what I mean? He was in his house throwing pillows around, you know, jumping on the couch with his sneakers on. Wife told him get off the couch, all that. You know what I mean? Hey, Prince, man, Moutier got some burn. What do you think this means for Trey Burke? Because Trey Burke's losing minutes quick.
Man, and that's the sad part about, you know, evaluating talent and, you know, just building your roster and just figuring out what what we got to do with our team, man. It sucks, but honestly, it looks like right now he's definitely the odd man out. I don't believe in the scheme he would have fit, you know, tonight. I don't think he would have matched well playing defense against Dennis Smith Jr. because I think his ego probably would have got the best of him, and they probably would have been doing too much hero ball. So Fizz probably was like, nah, you know, definitely. And then, you know, his teacher's pet, Moutier, you know, he had to get my boy out there on the court and see what Moutier could do. And my boy came out there and played some good minutes for us. I ain't going to do nothing. I ain't going to talk crazy. I'm just going to say, you know, we going to stay on topic. But, you know, with your boy Trey Burke, it sucks. But, you know, we was talking in the chat earlier when you had started the chat, and we was talking about basically you know, if we could get a second round pick for Trey Burke. But again, right now, you know, nobody's gonna be calling us for no trades, and, you know, it'd be kind of disrespectful to shop him at this point in time. But obviously we already know that definitely Lee, Baker, Trey Burke, you know, them guys is on the chopping block, and, you know, it's only a moment in time before we end up shipping them out. You know, anyway, but much like you said, with the body language, with just the fact of his inefficiency on the court, and the fact that, again, in the last, I guess, his 5 or 6 games, I mean, what's his highest assist totals been? Maybe 2-3 assists, you know what I mean? Yeah. And Fizz, you know, that's bad offense. I mean, we seen Moutier get in for those couple minutes, and the ball didn't stop. You know, the ball moved around, and, you know, he moved people and got the offense set. And, you know, Frank, the same thing. So, and even Trier, you know, Trier knows his role. So, again, I think everybody was kind of scared with Fizz talking about, you know, he wasn't holding guys accountable. But I think this is just him showing everybody. Now he's, showing his team that he's molding the team in the way he wants it. And if you're not going to come out here and play Fizz ball, you won't play ball. And I think that's what Trey Burke is seeing. So, again, maybe when he does get a chance, maybe he'll facilitate more, pass the ball around more. But much like you said, right now with the rotation and that starting lineup, Mitch is playing good basketball. That defense is looking, like I said, guys is closing out. It looked like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Sim, you know what the star drill is, and you know what I'm saying? That defensive shell look good, bro. I mean, to me, I see guys closing out. It could be a little bit better with chopping their feet, you know, at the point of attack at that 3-point line. But I'm seeing guys closing out. I'm seeing rotations. I'm seeing guys help. So, you know, and I don't think Trey Burke is, you know, he's not in the system like that with us right now, Sim.
All right, let's see what happens. You know, definitely tonight. I mean, we've seen game by game his minutes drop. Guillermo, there you go. Guillermo, what do you think, man?
About Burke, man? It's
about
tough,
Trey
man,
Burke.
because look, he like what I saw tonight, man. It's the Mavericks, so they don't play defense, right? But what I saw today, man, was discipline, man. The real MVP, like I said, for this game was Fizdale. You saw guys passing it. You saw Tim Hardaway on multiple occasions get the ball from half court and look for your boy Frank and literally hand it off to him. And when I think of Burke, right, Trier is basically a bigger Burke and with more potential. Right. And Burke is just too much of a negative on defense and too limited offensively, right? He doesn't facilitate well at all. But let's be honest, he was the guy who brought us back again. I think it was the Celtics game or the Bucks game. I can't remember which one. I think it was the Celtics game. Yeah. But he was a guy that went off. So, when I'm looking at him, would I rather, if I'm looking for the future and I'm saying who's the first point guard to come off the bench, it has to be Trier. But, am I keeping Ron Baker instead of Burke? Right. Yeah. So it's like, do I, if I have to cut some guys, Ron Baker will come off first before Burke. But, hey, look, if a team is like, hey, we'll give you a second rounder for Burke.
Yeah.
Hey, we're looking for value and picks for the future. We're trying to build up the foundation. So you got to sell some guys high. So, and Moutier, put like this, Moutier, like we were talking about, I said I thought we need a veteran point guard to come in and run in what the offense is once Franks is down. In terms of getting the ball around, moving it, being dangerous, driving to the basket, drawing the double teams in the paint. If Moutier, because Moutier doesn't look to shoot, if Moutier can do what he did tonight and do it with a confidence, Dennis Smith Jr. doesn't play defense, and Barea is, a child's height. If Moutier do this against better point guards in terms of facilitating, drive to the basket, drawing a double team, then Burke definitely becomes expendable. Because Moutier plays unselfish basketball. Does he play confident basketball, though? Is he proficient? No. But he plays what we need. So
I feel like Moutier
in the second unit
just fits the mold that Fizdale is looking for in the guard. I just feel like he fits the mold. Him and Frank fit the mold of the type of point guard that he's looking for. Does it mean that those guys can't learn to score better? No, it doesn't mean that. But I just feel like they fit the mold a little bit better because Frank shot 25% tonight. He shot 25% versus Indiana. He's got to, he's got to start. I believe that he will. He's just got to start knocking them down consistently.
Burke, he has to embrace that scores role, man. The role where, look, when we're down, we just need you to come and score buckets, man. But when we're humming like tonight, where everybody was humming, and the only person who had a negative was Mario Hezonja. I think one more person too. When we have these type of nights, he's not going to get minutes.
And see, I think the thing is, I think you hit it on the head when you talk about Trier. We say Burke needs to come in and be that scorer, but the issue is now Allonzo Trier can come in and score better than Burke. I guess Burke can probably, if he's really just going, maybe they can score the same, but Allonzo Trier is a little bit more effective to me because he can get to the glass, get hit, get an and one, and go to the line, right?
And Sim, just one more point because I know you got other people. What Trier did tonight, even when he was in the ISO, every bucket that Trier had, it seemed like it was still within the offense. Yeah. It didn't seem like he was trying to force the issue and try to just do ISO straight up. He waited. He saw guys, they pass it around. He saw the guys were spread out. He saw his guy one-on-one. He drove to the basket on him, scored. When he did the scoring with the ISO, it would be like 10 seconds left on the clock, and it seemed like a smart shot. None of the shots I saw tonight from Trier looked like, oh, Lord, he's forcing it. He's trying to do too much.
Even at the end of the game. Even at the end of the game, I'm gonna move on, get over to Ant, and then we're gonna look at the keys. I'll get to Nate too. Even at the end of the game, when the floor was spread out and then Trier was isoing at the top of the key, that was by design. That was clearly by design. You could see it. It wasn't that he was just okay, I'm just gonna iso the ball. They had the floor totally spread out, and it was by design because neither Luka, neither Dennis Smith Jr., none of those guys could stop Trier. We were up. We were trying to waste the clock out. So it was by design. It's an interesting development, with Trey Burke. And it makes me feel a little bit bad because, he's put in so much work and it seemed like he was maybe going to have a career breakout type of a year that he could. Or at least not even have a breakout year. Let me not say breakout. He was going to have a year that would cement him as an NBA guy. And now, he's getting 6 minutes versus the Dallas Mavericks, who are 2-7. I know that's got to be tough for him. Ant, what do you think?
Yo, I remember before the season started.
I'm gonna get the mark last because I got to get my ears recalibrated.
But I remember before the season started, we were talking about, expectations and stuff, and we were talking about Trey Burke, and I said how I didn't trust him, how them 29 games, didn't prove nothing to me because the rest of his career, he wasn't that guy. And my fears about him it's coming true. He overachieved the last 29 games or so last year, but that wasn't the player he was. He's more so the guy we see now, and I don't think he's gonna. I think his minutes are going to continue to decline only because Emmanuel Mudiay fits that second unit's needs a lot better.
Yeah, I think so.
I like Emmanuel Allonzo Trier. And when Kevin Knox comes back, I would like to see Kevin Knox plugged into that second unit with a facilitator like Mudiay and Allonzo Trier. And I think that unit and the second unit can do some good work. But Trey Burke, I just don't see where he fits on this team at this moment. Trier came in and did what Trey Burke does, but better. So it's like, where does he fit? He doesn't really fit anywhere. Efficient. I think Trey Burke his days a number, I believe.
Yeah, it might be. You might be right about that. Let me get to a couple of phone calls, and I'm gonna come back to Nate and Who's Mark. All right, caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
What's up, Sam?
What's going on with you, bro?
Pasadena, California.
Say that again.
It's Davon from Pasadena, California. First time caller.
Oh, appreciate the call, man. How you feeling?
Of course, man. Feeling good.
Good. Yeah, man, I'm feeling good myself, man. Nice win tonight. Did you watch the game?
With the victory tonight. Played good, played well. Everybody played hard. I liked what I seen tonight.
Okay. Give me your take on Trey Burke.
Oh man, what I think Burke, he just doesn't fit the system that Fizdale is actually looking for. I mean, we got Ntilikina and Mudiay, who are very similar in size and play style as their floor generals, So I just feel like Burke is just the odd man out. Even though he can score, he's just not what the system we have right now is looking for.
Right.
I love his story, though. Love how he, went to the G League, came back, fought hard. Love it. Love the fight in him. But it's just what we're looking for right now. I don't think Burke fits what we're looking for.
Right. So what do you think happens? What do you think happens? Do you think, looking at Allonzo Trier, we got Allonzo Trier, right? Do you think that Trey Burke eventually it's going to be, because we still got Courtney Lee on the bench, right? Do you think that eventually it's going to be Trey Burke who is moved to make room for Allonzo Trier? Because if we're going to keep Allonzo Trier, somebody's got to go. A roster spot has to be made.
I know Trier got the 45 days. I don't know. That's hard to say because, who do we get rid of? Like, do we trade or cut Ron Baker, a hard worker who's gonna hustle and grind it out? Who, sometimes it's if people aren't playing well, we could throw Ron Baker out there and look, get it together. Ron Baker is gonna get us together, not on a playmaking or, scoring route, but the hard work and the intensity, do we keep a guy like that? 'Cause you always need one of those in your back pocket. Or do we get, Trey, a scorer, somebody who can just score off the bench and come in and light it up a chance? It's kind of a hard situation, but me personally, I need the grit and grind. And anybody can, as we can see, we got Azonia, we got, a plethora of scores. Dotson can go off. We got Trier, So I don't know. It's a tough situation.
It's definitely going to be a tough, in a couple of weeks. It's definitely going to be a tough decision.
Lee has to get some playing time. Courtney Lee has to get some playing time somehow. So I don't know.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Two people have to get moved somehow.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that Courtney Lee is going to be. I don't know. I'm just getting the feeling that Courtney Lee is not going to play with us this year. That's just my feeling.
I feel like he shouldn't play with us either. Lee is a good player. Don't get me wrong. I would we do need Courtney Lee.
Yeah, I like Courtney Lee.
Right now with the young cats and how they're playing right now, I think we just need to give them all the minutes that we can get right now because they're playing, magnificent. I see a lot of potential in all of them, from Trier, Robinson, Knox, even Hazonia. He's been playing well. He's doing what he's supposed to do and what he's good at. He's playing, he's doing his thing. So right. I don't know. It's a tough call. It is,
man. I appreciate the call. All right. And
yeah.
Yeah, thank you for calling in. Have a. It's what is it like 9 o'clock out there? Almost not. What did you say that again?
I said, shout out to the chat, shout out to everybody. Thank you, Tim, for this platform, for this Knicks fans, so we can, Knicks fans, keep it global and keep it,
there we
the
go.
Word going.
There it is. Enjoy the sun, man. I know it's 9 o'clock out there. Enjoy the nice weather.
Yeah.
It's starting to get cold. It's rainy out here. I'm in DC. It's raining. It's storming. So have a good one, man. I appreciate it.
You too, sir.
All right, peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen. One more call. We'll get to one more call. Then we're going to do these. We're going to review our keys to success. Calling on live with nothing but Knicks. What's popping?
Hello.
Hey, what's going on with you, bro?
What's going on, Tim?
I'm chilling, man. How are you? All right.
Hang on.
Yeah. Turn that down in the back.
Okay.
All right.
Shout out to the chat.
For sure.
Let me shut this down. All right. Okay. I watched the second half tonight.
All right. What you think?
Well, what did I think?
What you think?
Okay. I think that Mitchell Robinson needs to stay out there, just like Fizz kept him out there tonight. I think that, whether he's paired with Cantor or Vonleh, doesn't matter. As long as he stays, as long as he stays on the floor and doesn't do the stupid fouls, that a rookie can make. He showed that he can do that in the second half, which was brilliant.
Right.
It was brilliant, and I applauded that shit. I'm sorry, my bad. As far as the rest of the rotation goes, as far as the guards and the small forwards, Burke not getting his minutes, I'm not sad about that. Between what's his name? My bad. Trier.
Mm-hmm.
Between Trier and Hazonia in the first half, but when Trier came out in the second half, he killed it. He was amazing, and I think he should get 30 minutes, just like you said.
Yeah.
I think he puts a lot of pressure on the opponent's defense.
Yep.
He's fantastic.
A lot of pressure. He puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
As long as he's doing what the coaching tells him to do, which is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, now, as far as the roster spot goes, when his 45 days are up, I don't care if it's Trier. Excuse me. I don't care if it's Burke or Baker. It doesn't matter to me. If they have to, whoever they choose, whoever they think, I'm confident that the front office will choose the person that they think that they will keep and let go.
Right. It doesn't matter.
I'm confident.
I feel you. I feel you. No, I'm saying I feel you. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter if it's. It doesn't matter who. Just keep Trier. Just make sure you keep that kid around. Yeah, I feel you. Hey man. Yeah. Okay. I want to get to my keys. Review my keys to success. I want to review them. All right. But I appreciate the call. And I look forward to hearing from you again, man. Have a good one. Peace.
You too, sir. Peace.
All right, let's get to these keys to success and talk about, every pregame, and of course tonight's pregame was pre-recorded, but it was premiered live, so it was just like it was live. I was actually in practice when it premiered live, but it was fun. I got to see, who jumped on, and that's what I'll do anytime that I'm in practice or at a game. I'll do the pregame and I'll premiere it in that fashion. The keys to success for tonight: have a strong start, which we did. We won the first quarter. Get out in transition. We scored because we scored efficiently. I mean, we got out in transition some. We turned them over. We did capitalize on our turnovers. Play efficient basketball. Play defense, and then fourth quarter and second half execution. All right, so strong start. Did we have a strong start? Yeah, we did. We had a strong start tonight. We get a check mark for having a strong start. Getting out in transition. Let's put it like this: we capitalized. We didn't get out as fast as we could have, but hey, we scored 118 points. We did something right. Get out in transition. Check mark. Did we play efficiently? You damn straight we did. You are damn straight we played efficiently. Tonight, we shot 54.8% from the field. We had 26 assists. That's efficient basketball, my friends. And you can see what happens when you play efficient basketball. We held the Dallas Mavericks to 106 points. Why? Because our offense helped our defense. We were able to get back and set up because we played efficiently. That's what happens when you play efficient basketball. So, for efficient basketball, we get a check mark. We get a check mark. Our defensive rating coming into this game. Defensive rating coming into the game was 109, I believe it was. 109. And tonight we held the Dallas Mavericks to 106 points, a team that usually scores 107. So, did we play defense? It ain't right. We get a check mark. Fourth quarter execution. The score was tied 29-29 in the fourth quarter, and we executed well. Down the end of the game, we weren't in position to, just kind of waste out the clock. We spread the ball out. It looked like it was designed to get Trier the ball to go, ISO one-on-one in those last few minutes of the game, with the way that we spread the floor out. So fourth quarter execution, yeah, we did it. All 5 keys, we were successful. So we walked out of Dallas with a 12-point victory. And I am honored, glad to read those off tonight because it was an impressive victory. Impressive. Now let's talk about Trier and Robinson. Let's get a little bit deeper into talking about Trier and Robinson because 2 rookies. And not only are they 2 rookies, but of course there's something special about these 2 rookies. Allonzo Trier wasn't drafted. We know this. He wasn't drafted. Right? Mitchell Robinson, we picked him up in the second round. These guys led us to a victory in the NBA. 2 guys that were overlooked by every other team in the NBA. I'm not going to say they were overlooked. I'm sure they had them on their radar. But we got them. We got them. This team is filled with guys like this. Damian Dotson, he's our starting small forward, I guess. Second round pick. Right? Of course, Mitchell Robinson and Allonzo Trier. And then we got some other guys. Even Ron Baker, who at one point people thought Ron Baker was a nice pickup, was a guy who was not drafted. So I mean, Ron Baker wasn't a Scott Perry guy, but still, we got guys on this team. We've done a good job picking guys out the bushes. But Allonzo Trier, Mitchell Robinson, man, these aren't just guys that we picked out the bushes. I mean, we did. But these are guys that have real life starters potential. Both of them. I mean, these guys can get it. Allonzo Trier goes to the basket with mean intentions. He's powerful when he gets there. He can score through the hit. That's why he goes to the line. That's why I think Clyde, said during the game that coming off the bench, he's been to the line 17 times because he's so powerful when he gets to the line. And he's got moves out the wazoo. You know what I mean? The guy, his ball handle is one of them Seattle dudes. I don't know how much he really grew up in Seattle because he moved to Oklahoma City. But, they all got handle like that. And he got handle. He can get to the rack. And listen, let me tell you, I think he's 6'4", but, the guy is not that big. I mean, I stood there and looked eye to eye with him. He's a little bit taller than me. But, the kid can go. He can really go. And, expect Allonzo Trier to get more and more time. He may move up towards, to that 30 minutes per game. Mitchell Robinson. I'm honest with you. He really surprised me tonight. Because I thought he was going to have a hard time with DeAndre Jordan. Because DeAndre Jordan is so much stronger than him. Clearly, you could see the size difference. But his athleticism, his length, I mean, you could see how high he could. Well, obviously, he's 7 foot, but, you've seen him get up on those oops. But he did a great job. He didn't have the power to box DeAndre Jordan out, but, he does a good job tipping the ball up, tipping the ball back to himself and things like that. He does a good job with it. When this guy really does develop his power, when he gets stronger and he's able to box people and push people out the paint and he becomes one of those immovable objects down there, he may become that. Just one of those big guys. He's going to get stronger. If you've seen his shoulders are like really, really wide. He has so much room to fill out. One of these days, he's really going to be strong down there. The Knicks found two guys in Trier and Robinson, that are foundations for the future. They really are foundations. And and we're not hoping here. I don't care. We're not hoping here. These guys are foundations and they're going to be solid pieces for years to come. If we do the right things, man, we got something going. And Fizdale is using Allonzo Trier the right way. And, something I had said earlier, a long time ago, is that, with Trier, I really wanted him to be able to get his isolations within the offense. And it seems, Guillermo pointed to it earlier. It seems like he does that. He really does get it within the offense. Where he catches the ball, the ball is moving, then it comes to him and he's in a position where he can take 2-3 dribbles and then go. It's impressive. It really is impressive. What's the future of these guys? I want you guys to tell me. What do you think? Both of those guys, Robinson was a good steal in the draft. We got Trier, who went undrafted. What are we looking forward to with these guys? What are we looking forward to? Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, what's up, Sim?
What's going on with you, bro?
Nothing much. No, I'm just happy Knicks fan tonight.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm a real happy Knicks fan tonight. Real happy Knicks fan. I feel really good. So talk to me about Mitchell Robinson and Allonzo Trier.
I'm glad I got on in this topic. No, oh man, from what I've seen from Trier and tonight with Mitchell Robinson, along with Kevin Knox, Knicks won last year's draft. I think we're running away with it. Trier might be a first team. If the Knicks play him 30 minutes, he might be a first team all-rookie team.
Let me tell you something. We had a conversation a few weeks back that if Allonzo Trier played 25, 30 minutes a game, would he be in the running for Rookie of the Year? I still say yes, he would be.
I think top. If he plays the way he's been playing the last couple of games, top 3. Ayton will probably win just because he's on a horrible team, but the Knicks, I mean, you look at the schedule, the next 3 games, if the Knicks walk out of there 2-1, oh my goodness. I mean,
you know, we're 2-1, 2-1 in the last 3 games.
Yeah, we should be beating these slouch teams. I mean, when we get up against Golden State or Boston, we played better than anybody expected. And I mean,
well, you know, those games against Golden State, Boston, you know, those are the type of games that showed the Knicks that they could compete. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those games showed that. Those games said, "Hey, you can compete. If you're competing with these guys, you need to go out and beat those guys." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what I like to see. You know, now we're actually seeing it. Like, we used to play down to our competition, but what I'm seeing now is these. I mean, we handled these guys. We handled the Nets. We handled Atlanta the first game of the season. Mm-hmm. I mean, we get these, you know, bottom of the barrel guys that are definitely going to the lottery. We're holding our own, and I think we're going to take. I think once the season gets rolling and we find out who's who, we're gonna surprise some of these good teams. Like, I mean, I think we're got a lot of happier days ahead of us. The way.
I definitely think we'll surprise some of these good teams. I'm sure we will, man. I'm sure, you know, we'll snag one or two of those. We'll snag one or two of them. I'm positive of that. Positive of that.
Definitely. And,
hey,
I
man.
just wanted to touch on these Frank haters. All these Frank haters. Did you see the Knicks team go together tonight? Did you see when Dennis Smith Jr. pushed down Frank? Trier cooked him. He cooked him. Trier destroyed him for 3 plays in a row. Made him look horrible. I mean,
yeah. Well, you know, what was that? What was that?
I'm loving this young team. I am loving this young team.
Nice, good. Hey, man, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for the call.
Everybody.
Appreciate it. Peace. What was that? What was up with that? I thought that Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr. were friends. You know, I mean, I guess, you know, when you get in the heat of battle, things like that are gonna happen, but that push, I don't know if it, you know, when Frank drove to the basket, looked like maybe he, you know, drove his shoulder into Dennis Smith Jr. a little bit. But he obviously got mad, you know, he kind of got mad at Frank and pushed him in the air. You know? I mean, you know, it wasn't a horrible play, but I didn't expect that from Dennis Smith Jr. I always thought he was a good kid. You know what I mean? If the Knicks would have drafted him, I mean, I wanted to draft Frank because I was afraid of Dennis Smith Jr.'s injury history. But if we would have drafted him, I wouldn't have been upset. I would have rooted for him. I root for him now. I want him to do well. But, you know, he showed me a little, I mean, and maybe it's just a little bit of nastiness that he has in him. That's okay. That's okay. You know, but you know, he showed a little bit of anger towards Frank. All right, it is what it is, I guess. You know, he showed a little bit of anger towards Frank. Did you expect more from Frank tonight? Let me ask you this. Did you expect more from Frank tonight? Comparing the two, and I know we're talking about Trier and Mitchell Robinson. We'll get right back to Trier and Mitchell Robinson. All right, but comparing to the two tonight, let's see what they did tonight. You know, Frank had 7 points, 7 assists. Shot 25% from the field. All right. We know that Frank's not going to. We want Frank to work on that shooting. You know, he's only going to take 8 to 10 shots a game. My hope is that he can make 50% of those shots. Okay. You know, I would love for Frank to be able to make 50% of those shots. Even if he made 50% of those shots tonight, he still only ends up with maybe 11 points. I'm cool with that. It's not the points that I'm worried about. It's the efficiency that I'm worried about. Right? I want him to be more efficient from the field. We'll give him time to get there, but I want him to be more efficient from the field. He did have 7 assists tonight. Give him that. Okay? Dennis Smith Jr. played, let me see, Frank played how many minutes? Frank played 32 minutes. Dennis Smith Jr. played 31 minutes. Dennis Smith Jr., 23 points, 2 rebounds, no assists. He had 6 turnovers. I think Frank had 3 turnovers. Yeah, Frank had 3 turnovers tonight. I don't know. Are you guys okay? I'm okay. Obviously, I'm okay because we got the win. People got to put in where they put in to get the win. However it happens, regardless of who scores what. You put in, what you got to put in to get the win. Are you guys happy? Did you want more from Frank? Did he do exactly what you wanted him to do? For the most part, Frank did exactly what I wanted him to do besides shoot more efficiently. 7 assists, I can deal with it. 3 turnovers, I like him to keep it down, but he's got the ball in his hands a lot. It's going to happen. Had a couple of lazy passes there. A couple of passes. We know Frank does it. We've all seen it. Every once in a while, he'll throw one of them passes that it just doesn't have the vigor on it to get there. Just doesn't have the boom on it to get there. And he floats it out there, and then they come take it. That's something he's got to work on that. You know what I'm saying? He's got to work on that. All right. So I'm gonna come to the video chat. I want to know what you guys think about it. Hear from you guys. Let me take this call right here. Then I'm gonna come to the video chat. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. Talk to me. Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr. Were you okay
Sam,
with?
This is Christian.
What's up, Christian? First time caller?
Yeah, first time caller.
Appreciate you calling in, my
Maine.
man. From Maine, okay. Oh, we got Knicks fans up in Maine. All right, that's what I'm talking about.
Originally from New York, but I've been watching your show a long time. So
appreciate it. Thank you.
Good to call in. So for Frank, to answer your question, I really do think Frank did play really well. Obviously, we could ask for a lot more based off the fact he did only score 7 points, and he didn't shoot very efficiently, 2 for 8. But I mean, I do not think we made the wrong pick with Frank over Dennis Smith Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I see Dennis Smith as the type of player to come out of college, very, very big scorer, scoring 15 points, but I don't see him as the player who's going to improve year by year. Versus Frank, I see him as like a steady improvement each year. I kind of predict him as kind of like a Mike Conley type player, maybe even like a Terry Rozier type player with the Celtics, who didn't really do amazing out of college. Now look at him, he pretty much led that team in the playoffs with his defense, ball movement. Not going to score a ton of points for you, but he's going to command the offense. He does a lot of the right things on the defensive end. Like you saw the stat line. I mean, 0 assists for Dennis Smith Jr. I mean, he scored pretty efficiently today, but I mean, most of the time he's not very efficient.
Yeah, he scored efficiently.
I really like the way Frank plays. I think he's just going to get better.
Okay. Dennis Smith Jr. was 8 for 14, 57% from the field tonight.
Yeah, very good game, like I said. But he's a good player. I'm not gonna give him slack. I mean, he's a great player, but I'm really happy with the way Frank's been playing, and I think he held his own against Dennis Smith tonight.
Okay.
One thing about this Knicks team, though, I did want to say is it's so fun to watch these guys, man. I'm so excited about this year. I haven't had as much fun as a Knicks fan watching this game since the first year when Amari came and when the Knicks won that 54-game season. I'm not sure about what you think. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
About
how exciting this team is.
How exciting! Yeah, I love this team. I love this team. I love the youth, the energy that they bring to the table. Fizdale has them, playing with the right type of vigor. I love it.
Yeah,
I love what I'm seeing.
I'm really excited about this team. And I did have one question. It's a little bit off topic. It's about the off season. I know the Knicks have a lot of cap space, and just kind of using the Celtics as a model. I have a lot of Celtics fans up here who I have to kind of deal with.
You got to grapple with those guys.
It's hard. It's hard having to go to work with all these guys, but. Everyone's talking about KD maybe coming to the Knicks, probably doing what LeBron did, going to a young team and kind of being that leader, mentor role. But let's say the Knicks don't strike with KD. You have these other free agents like Butler and you have Thompson. Would you offer the max to one of those two players if they'd be willing to come over, or would you just say, all right, let's just re-sign KP for long term and just try to build the draft? We have all these young players, let them ride with these young guys and try to do what the Celtics did, just build through the draft. And then, What do you think if they strike out on KD?
Well, this is what I'm gonna let you go, but I'm gonna answer your question. All right.
All right. Cool. Thanks.
All right. Appreciate it. I would, if we strike out on KD, I'm not spending my money on guys that I do not think is going to push the needle any. Right? KD's going to push the needle, obviously. But I'm not going to just spend money just to spend money. We strike out on KD, then I probably still do, because we're still in the developmental mode. Right? We don't get KD. I'm gonna put my money into, I'm gonna make sure we take care of the players we have on good deals. But then I also do 1-year deals with guys if I'm looking at free agents, so that we have money for when that next guy comes out that may push the needle, that's hitting the market that may push the needle. Because then we still got to see what we have. You never know. We may have the guys right in house that can develop that push the needle for us. But of course, if you have money, you got to use it the right way. So I'm not just going to throw money away on guys that I don't think push us forward. I'm just not going to throw the money away. We can't get KD. Do I go for KD? Of course, you go for KD in the summer. You try to get KD. You don't get him, then you got to be smart with the money, not just throw it at a guy as a constellation prize. That's not what we do. You know what I mean? And as far as KP, he's probably going to get paid anyway. I'm sure Scott Perry and those guys will look at the cap structure and make sure that they're doing it in a way so that we, have money to do the things that we want to do. But that's the way that I do it. But to be honest with you, my man, right now I'm really trying to focus on, and I think Scott Perry and Steve Mills, I'm sure they're doing their due diligence. But in public, they're not going to be talking about free agency. They really want to focus on these guys here. With 3-6, we could easily, really, honestly, dude, there's games out there that we could have won if we could have executed in the fourth quarter. There's 3 of them: Brooklyn, Boston, Indiana. If we would have executed correctly, we could have won those 3 games. We could be 6-3. I feel like we could be if we could have had better fourth quarter execution. So let's put our energy into these guys right now. Let's put our energy into them, and let's give them the support that they deserve, and see if we're able see what they're able to do. Because these guys, they play hard. They deserve our undivided attention, I think. But back to Trier and Robinson. Allonzo Trier this year so far, he's shooting 53.1% from the field, 42.9% from 3. He's averaging 10.8 points per game, 2.7 rebounds per game, and 1.2 assists per game. That's a nice stat line for a young rookie that gets 21 minutes a game. That's a really nice stat line. Impressive. That's impressive to me. That's impressive. Let me get to the video chat. And I see these guys in here. I'm pretty sure they're having a good time. So let's talk to these guys a little bit. I see Nate got his hand up. Nate, what's cooking, man? What's popping? What's cooking?
What's cooking, man? Well, the Knicks won. That's always a good thing.
That's always a good thing. Always a good thing, right?
Man, you've
I got 2 questions for you. I got 2 questions for you. I got 2 questions for you. The first one, are you satisfied with Frank's performance? And then Trier, Robinson, where are you with those guys? How do you feel? Are they going to be staples with our organization for a while?
So, first question on Frank. Yes, I am. He's given you, yes, it's only 7 points, but if you look at his average, he's averaging, I think, around 10 points a game, which is up from his last year.
Well, he came into this game averaging 9 points.
Okay, 9 points. Okay. Yeah. But it's up from last year, so that's progress. Mm-hmm. He's more aggressive. If you watch the game, he took I think 3 or 4 3-pointers. I don't recognize games where he would take that many 3-pointers. So he is looking for a shot. And there were times where he picked his battles with Dennis Smith and got into the paint and tried to take him to the hole and just missed a shot. He got that and one, that really nice and one. That was a nice little floater. I mean, he's coming around, Sim. I mean, this guy is going to be something special. And I'm like, you know me, I've been saying that for a long time. I believe in this guy. And the one thing I was really wanting him to really improve more so than his shooting was his passing. And he's doing that. He had 7 assists. That's the first time I've seen him that many assists in a long time.
I mean, I always thought that he was a good passer, and I always felt that if he ran that point guard position, he'd be able to pass the ball.
Right.
I want to see.
But you didn't see it in the stat lines. That's the thing.
Yeah, well, last year his minutes were all over the place, and he wasn't playing. He just started playing his point guard position. I want to see him. I want to see him shoot better from the field. That's the thing that I feel is missing. I don't care that he only took 8 shots. I don't care if he's taking 8 to 10 shots. I want to see him make 50%, 45 to 50% of those.
But if you watch him shoot, he doesn't have bad form.
No, he doesn't.
I think he's just kind of rushing his shot sometimes. Sometimes he doesn't set his feet. But I think that's going to come in time. But also, too, the reality is he might not be a good shooter. We just might have to realize that. I mean, he could, like we say, he might be Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart's not a good shooter.
But I think that Frank will be a good shooter. I think his shot it doesn't look hard. It's not hard to me, because he does get bounces. His form is okay. Now, the one thing that I do notice with Frank is because his arms are so long, right? It's out here, so it's always. I don't see Frank being a guy unless they work on it and he learns it. A guy that's going to be able to come off of screens, catch it and shoot. Because his arms are so long. And you can see it in his form. Listen, I know he's less than 90 games into his career. I do get that. You know what I mean? But I am looking for him. That's why I give him that 3-year grace period. That third year. I want to see him up there around 45% shooting, or after the third year. It's
going to be a heck of an uptick if he.
I think that he can because he gets good. He takes good shots. He takes open shots. He takes shots that are given to him. That's the reason why he only takes 8 to 10 shots per game. If you're taking 8 to 10 shots per game, I don't think it's too much to ask for you to make 4 or 5 of them.
Let me ask you one question. Do you take into account that he plays very good aggressive defense, that it does take a lot out of him when he gets on offense sometimes? Do you take that in consideration when it comes to shooting? Because usually guys that really exert themselves on defense aren't the best shooters in the world.
I don't know. I think the defense comes natural for him. You know what I mean? I think the defense comes natural for him. I mean, obviously, he's young and it's going to take time for him. He's got to work on it and he's got to develop it.
He's only 20 years old. I say really, you can't really grade this guy till he gets about 23, and then really see where's he at 23 years old. If he's still shooting, at the low tiers, and then he is what he is.
But I'm not trying to kill him. I'm just pointing out an area where he needs to develop if he's going to take his game, take his game up a notch. That's where he has to develop, in my opinion. If he's going to take his game,
he leaves a lot of points on the court. There's no doubt about that. I see if he makes those points, he's right closer to 15.
Yeah, I see Viv still got it going on. He ain't came down from his high yet. You know what I'm saying?
So real quick
he must
on
be drinking something serious out there. Go ahead.
So real quick on Mitchell and Trier. Trier, we need to tear up that G League contract. He needs to go on the 15 roster. The guy is special. He's probably our best ISO player on the team. And like you said, he plays within the offense. Like before in the preseason, it looked like he was just kind of trying to create something out of nothing. Now he plays within the offense, and he's a great mid-range shooter. Like him and Dot, I love seeing those mid-range shots. I'm totally cool with them taking mid-range shots. Yeah. But he makes them, and he's efficient.
I don't think they need to do it right now because they still have time. Listen, he's on that 45-day contract. Yeah. Nobody else can touch him. And he can continue to play with us, and then once that 45, he can spend 45 days or games or whatever it is in the not a 45-day contract. He's on a 2-way contract. He could spend 45 games in the NBA.
But we need him. We need him game in and game out. I mean, he arguably is going to be our sixth man on the bench.
Yeah, and I think right now, they're using that time to be able to, figure out how to clear a roster spot to make the best move for the Knicks so that they clear a roster spot for Trier. Believe me, Trier's going to be on the team. He's not going back down in G League. He's going to be on the team. He's going to be on the team. Yeah.
Okay, and as far as Mitchell, whatever the hell Rasheed Wallace said to him, big ups to him, because I see a totally different Mitchell Robinson. I mean, he outplayed DeAndre Jordan. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if DeAndre Jordan had more rebounds or whatever. He outplayed DeAndre Jordan. He hustled. He defended the rim. I mean, he basically is doing KP's job right now, except scoring. Because that's what KP would do. He would rebound. He would defend the rim. I mean, I honestly, Sim, I want to see Cantor back in the starting lineup and take Vonleh out, and I want to put Mitchell at the 5.
You know what? Right now, I'm gonna get on to this phone call, and then I'm gonna come to Ant, and I'm gonna come to Mark. Looking at Cantor right now, I don't see him getting back into the starting lineup. I'm gonna be honest with you. Looking at him right now, I just don't see it. What he's doing on the court. He had 5 rebounds tonight. He's an emotional guy, and his emotions are getting the best of him on the court. They're getting the best of him on the court. So I don't know. I don't see him coming back into the starting lineup. Yeah. Aunt G, because the caller, I'm sure they'll call back. Excuse me. I'm sure they'll call back.
Let me mute Viv real quick, Sam.
Viv is on it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Viv is on it tonight. I don't know if that man was out there drinking, you know what I mean? But, he was drinking.
Viv is having a good time.
He was drinking that good stuff, man. Some Hennessy, cognac, or something.
Yeah,
that man was getting it in. He was getting it in. All right, Ant.
He said, I saw y'all talking about Frank and Dennis Smith Jr. I was looking up Dennis Smith Jr.'s. He was a -3 tonight. Frank was a +7. And I was talking to Prince, and I was like, the $1 million question is what's more valuable? The 7 assists with not as much scoring, or the 23 points with 6 turnovers and no assists? Like, what do we value more for a basketball player, for a point guard?
You can put it like you can do it like this, and this is the way that I've done it a lot of times with my players. So Frank had 7.7 assists. So you can basically say Frank had 21 points tonight, right?
Right, that's true.
Right. Or he helped the team to get 21 points. Dennis Smith Jr. helped the team to get 23 points. That's almost a standoff.
Right.
You know what I mean? You just look at it that way. And actually, if you look at it, Frank maybe helped the team get more than 21 points. I don't know how many of those assists were on threes. I'm pretty sure at least one of them was on a 3, because I think he passed it to Dotson. I remember specifically one to Dotson in the first half where he knocked it down. So at least one of them was 2 or 3. Right. So so if you take it that way, they kind of offset each other, because they both helped the team to get 20, 21, 22, 23 points.
Right. And I think that's what kind of hurts Frank and people's perception when they, match him up with Dennis Smith Jr. It's almost like Dennis Smith Jr., the way he plays is more noticeable. Like, you see him more. There's more highlights, right? The camera pans to him more, because he's more athletic. He probably plays a more exciting style of basketball. But when we look at effectiveness and production, right? People miss the nuances of the game. Like, Frank had 3 steals, and he was steady. When he was on the court, the team was +7. It's just stuff that a lot of fans don't pay attention to, and they dream about having Dennis Smith Jr. instead of Frank.
Right.
And I don't think Dennis Smith Jr. makes us a better team. I think he makes us worse.
Yeah, and listen, I could tell you what. Now that I'm thinking back at it, there's at least 2 assists that Frank was 2 assists. 2 of his assists were 3-point shots, and I remember specifically one assist. And I was talking to my daughter about it, And these are the nuances that so many people overlook, and people in the chat will look and say that I'm reaching, or they'll say whatever. Frank, he penetrated to the basket, and I believe he ended up in the post, right? He was in the post. He passed it out to Tim Hardaway Jr., but when he passed it to Tim Hardaway Jr., he didn't pass it directly to Tim Hardaway. He passed it to the spot that Tim Hardaway would go to be able to shoot the ball. He passed it to that spot from the post back to the 3-point line. He led him to the spot. Tim Hardaway caught it, rose up, and knocked down the three. That's a point guard. That is something that is so overlooked by so many people. You know, being able to pass the ball to people in the pocket, in the shooter's pocket, lead them to the right spot, an accurate pass, so that they're comfortable to be able to shoot. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, those little things people miss, and you know, people look at. So you know, you're right. They look at Frank's game and they say this and that, you know, because it's not flashy or whatever it is.
And that's why sometimes it's hard to have a conversation or a discussion with someone that is trying to argue the other side, because they really don't value, you know, that stuff. They just want the highlights, and they want Stephen A. Smith to be talking about you. They want, you know, they want LeBron to be happy with the pick. Like, they want that stuff, and I don't care about that. I want the substance, and I feel like Frank, you know, he played a decent game in that. Like, you were talking about his efficiency. That's really what's holding his numbers back. You know, when we look at, you know, the how good his numbers look, it's just his efficiency. Yeah. If he makes two, three more shots, then all of a sudden he's close to a double-double.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, I just want Frank. Frank is going through a lot of the stuff he should have went through last year.
That's true.
And you know, he's going through it now. And I think Fizz is a smart enough coach to allow him to go through this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I think next year we'll see, or towards the end of this year, I think we're going to start seeing not a different player, but a more consistent, confident player.
Okay. And I think Mark said it at the beginning of the year, you know, that this is almost like Frank's rookie year. You know, or Mark said he was considering it as Frank's rookie year. Mark, what's going on, Mark? What's up with you?
Yeah, what's going on, Sam? How you doing, man?
I'm chilling, enjoying the win.
Listen,
enjoying the win.
I'm gonna tell you the most important thing. What they did right tonight. The pick and roll coverage was Dallas couldn't run no pick and roll tonight, and that's why we won this game. Mitch covered all of the pick and roll sequence that Dallas liked to run, and he covered it so well. That's why DeAndre Jordan was a non-factor, because they ran numerous of pick and rolls from DeAndre Jordan. He would chew this up.
Right.
Because if you go watch back when we used to play the Clippers, Chris Paul would have just chewed us up, got into the paint, and DeAndre Jordan be there for a dunk. Yeah. But Mitch, he is just active. And I was telling people I had started him at the beginning of the season because he's just active. I'm sorry. I know he get boxed out and everything, but how he recovers on defense and just make himself known that, listen, you can't come here, that's what we need. That, if you go look back at the last two games, people are not talking about it. When KP was talking to him and showing him where you should be on defense and how you and not to fall for this, and Rasheed Wallace teaching him, he's learning. Like, you just see he's learning, and he's not. Sponge. And the thing he got to learn is not to jump with the guards. Mm-hmm. If he stays on his feet, I'm telling you right now, when he gets his body, as this is going to be like a 2-3 year process, 4 year process, his body is going to turn out so broad. It's like almost Dwight Howard. That's how big he can get. He can get big like that.
He's going to be a beast when his body fills out. I'm telling you.
He can get big. Monster. Don't let TV fool you, because sometimes these players be bigger in person, and you'll be surprised. And listen, defensively, he's AD talent, where he's going to be able to blitz point guard. That's what Thing was running tonight. He was blitzing the guards. He was getting the ball out of Dennis Smith Jr.'s hands. He was getting the ball out of Luka's hands, even though, Luka was playing a lot. But if we get a guard, because Tim Hardaway, listen, he's not going to play defense. He's running what Miami used to run when they had LeBron and Wade, where they just blitz the guards and make sure someone else on the team scores. Mm-hmm. And if we could get that constantly, defense. We just guarded that pick and roll tonight, and I did not even yell at my TV tonight because the pick and roll was just solved tonight. No point guards was flying in the paint until Kanter was on the floor. Listen, he could go. I don't even care. Play Mitchell 48 minutes if possible.
Come on, man.
Because Sim, he covered the pick and roll.
He did, but they're not gonna play in 48 minutes.
I know. I'm just exaggerating.
I know.
Yeah, listen, Sam. I love you and all, but listen. I told y'all before. Don't bring up Trey Burke in this. Listen, hey, bro.
Man. His minutes are dwindling so fast. He played 6 minutes tonight.
Fizdale was giving him a little taste, but I told you he was going to start Frank because he's just tall. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. And even though Frank is not offensively good at all yet, it's the fact that he's just tall and he could play defense and he covers some spot. Bro, listen. Trey Burke was good for us because we was a bad team last year, and that's what the Knicks do. We get these players and we get them where they can show themselves, but we're still a bad team. It's not like he was a plus. He's still a negative player. I've been telling y'all, if he couldn't play for Utah and he couldn't come off the bench for Washington Wizards, what makes y'all think that he was going to have a spot if we had a viable point guard that could either defend better than him? Because that's what Frank is. Frank is just a defending point guard right now. And he just sets up the offense a little calmly at times. Make sure we don't get out of pace. But listen, bro, Trey, he need to play 35 minutes.
Yeah, he need to be getting 30 minutes a game, man. He will. I think he will. He's good. He will.
And the thing, what I like about him, he just applies pressure. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Puts pressure. As a guard, tremendous pressure on the defense. Tremendous pressure on the defense.
That is it. And listen, I've been watching Frank the last games. I love Frank, but listen, he's in my doghouse right now until he showed that aggression that I need for him to have. I love him, but bro, this is the NBA. He's going against point guards every night, and you have to have that level of aggression. That's why I love Trey so much, and Trey is so appealing. I wouldn't start Trey. I'm not going to go that far.
No, you're not going to start Trey because he's not going to settle the offense down. Yeah.
But Frank and Knox is in my doghouse because I need that aggression from them so we can be good. Because
listen. The thing is, Frank's been, he doesn't go to the basket every time he gets the ball, obviously, but he's been making some trips to the hoop. He's been making some,
No, he's been making subtle moves from time to time.
He went to the basket 2 or 3 times in the first half. He missed a layup. One time he hit the floater. In the second half, he went a couple times. One time I thought maybe he should have posted up. I think he had Barrera on him. Maybe he should have posted up, but he kicked it out to Hardaway, got the assist for the 3. The next time he went to the cup, Dennis Smith Jr. fouled him. And
then Hardaway, he's playing within the last 2 games. He's been playing within the offense. If he plays like that in the offense, I don't have a problem with him.
He's playing within
he's playing within the offense the last 2 games.
Yeah, he didn't shoot the best percentage tonight. He shot 41%, but he only took 17 shots.
Yeah,
right?
But he
stayed within the offense.
He was in the flow. It's not like he was your Tim Hardaway that you hate, where he's just jacking up shots when he wanted to off the dribble and stuff like that. And that's not his game. It's more come off the curls, slash the basket. But one more before I go.
Mm-hmm.
There's a rumor going out, because if everybody, we can get rid of Tim Hardaway, and the perfect team that's willing to take him is Utah. We take Alex Burke's expiring contract, and I think we give them a 2nd-round pick, and then the extra. I think we owe Tim Hardaway extra $38 million.
Yeah,
we can shake that off like half for next year.
Still got him on the books for 2 years.
For 2 years, yeah. But that's the trade. It could be Alex Burke for Tim Hardaway, and our 2nd-round pick. I think for this year to get him off the books. Because listen, I don't even want KD. I want Kawhi Leonard. I want Kawhi Leonard.
Do you think? I don't think Kawhi Leonard would come to New York.
No, I don't think he's leaving Toronto.
Not because of the team. Not because of the team. Just I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he would want. I don't think he would want to be in New York.
No, I don't think he would. But Sim, when you watch this kid,
I know he's cooking, man.
No. It's how defensively he is.
Yeah, I know. Best two-way player in the game. He's the best two-way player in the game. There's no doubt about it.
And how level-headed, he moves at his own pace. Like sometimes I'm watching the game in slow-mo when I'm watching him. But I would take Kawhi over Kevin Durant. Because Kevin Durant ain't coming. I keep telling you that.
Hey, man.
So
Kawhi, put Kawhi, and Frank back there, and then you have another shooting guard that can play defense. How we be locking teams down?
And the defense that Fizdale want to run, we got to have those type of players because if we get those type of players, our defense is going to be elite. He's running that Miami Heat scheme, and you remember they still run it to this day. It's still elite.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. Let me get to this phone call, Mark. Could you guys imagine, though, before I get to this phone call, could you guys imagine having Frank at that point guard spot? You got a two guard that can play some defense. Then you got Kawhi Leonard. Then you got KP. And you got Mitchell Robinson blocking shots. Imagine that type of a lineup. We would shut teams down. Yeah, it'd be crazy. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
What's up, Simeon?
Hey, what's going on, Ron? How you been, man?
How you doing, brother?
I'm chilling, man. How you feeling after tonight's win?
Good road win. I mean, I'm not gonna get too excited because a road win is a road win. It's hard to win on the road, but it was we both had the same record before the game started, so I'm not gonna get too happy. But I'll take a road win anyway.
Right. Exactly.
A win is a win, especially on the road. It's hard to win on the road. So, and Rick Carlisle is a good coach. So, he always has his team ready. So, But I was listening to you. Oh, before I forget, I was trying to get to the video chat. It was my first time because tonight I wasn't working today. I was off, and when I went to the video chat, it was crazy because I heard you talking on your YouTube feed, and then I heard everybody else talking. I'm like, it was madness. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, how do you do this? But I was doing it on my phone, so I don't know if you could do it on your phone or on a laptop.
So it's like this, and it's confusing to most people till they get in. Once they actually stick it out, they kind of learn how it works a little bit. So it's like you can hear me talking,
and I heard you talking, and I'm like, "What the hell?" Like,
So right, so
it was confusing.
So you can hear everybody talking, but you have the ability to mute people.
Okay.
Right, so you can mute people, so you can't hear anybody but me, or you can have it where you hear everyone. Because a lot of times when I'm talking to, like I'm talking to you right now, they're having a conversation. Right. So for people who are new to the chat, it's a little bit confusing until they get on and they catch on to it a little bit. And once you figure, okay, I can mute people, then you're like, okay, I can mute people. I can listen to the show if I want to. I can listen to the chat if I want to. Then when it's my time to speak, I can mute everybody so I can speak. Yeah.
Okay. But I could do that. I have to do that on a computer, or I could do that on my phone.
I think you should be able to do it on your phone.
Okay, because I did it on my phone, but my laptop is messed up right now. I need to get a new one, so I figure next time I'll do it on the laptop. So it's easier that way.
Yeah. So it's confusing to some people sometimes. Terry and Trey, they came on the show the other day, and they were looking like, "What in the world is going on?" But once you get in, you figure out what's happening, then you get used to it, and then you kind of know how to work it.
Yeah, man. Well, I won't keep it that long because I know you got probably other callers. But before I forget, I was listening to the last caller, or I guess the guy you're listening to in the chat. And, before I forget with Trey Burke, just I know you guys were talking about it earlier. I was trying to jump in on that conversation. But, with Trey Burke, maybe he's not the player for us. But, if you look throughout the NBA, there's been other players – a lot smaller than Trey Burke. Like you have right now tonight, J.J. Barrera. He's been in the league for I don't know how many years.
Been in the league
like
for a while.
6 foot tall. You have Muggsy Bogues plays for like 4. But what happens is those guys, to make up for their lack of height, you have to either be able to score, or be able to be a good facilitator, or be a pest in defense.
Exactly.
And of course, Trey Burke, he's on defense, it hurts us when he's he's a liability on defense.
Yeah.
So there's always a possibility a guy can, he could be a journeyman. Where maybe I know right now with the Knicks, because right now with the Knicks, it's similar to the Lakers. The only difference is that they got LeBron to figure out what they're going to do with these guys at the end of the year, where we don't have KP. So we don't know how the team. KP, once he comes back, he has to gel with this team. We're doing it without KP. You know what I'm saying? It'd be nice if we had KP, but we don't, So, there's a possibility some of these guys won't even be here next year.
Oh, it's a big possibility. Big possibility.
You know what I'm saying? But at least now you get a chance. You put in, Fizz is putting them in the fire, as you can see right away with Mitch Robinson and Rozier. They're getting that playing time right now because we're a young team. But but I think right now when it comes to like Frank, which I know, and like the last guy you was talking to, it comes down to is with Fizdale and Scott Perry. If they're all in on Frank, then you don't have to have Frank. Tony Parker got a couple of championships, and he wasn't a high volume scorer. He wasn't athletic. He wasn't as tall as Frank, but he had range. But look who he had on his team. He had other. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the best. So Frank don't have to be our best player. We got KP. Not right now though. But if you're a true, like you said, depending what you're looking for in a point guard. Of course, right now there's only one Stephen Curry. But if you look around the league, you got a lot of scoring point guards. You got John Wall, right? You got this guy in Portland. But the thing is, we don't have that. So why force Frank to be that? Let's build to his strengths. You know what I'm saying? If he's a legitimate point guard, then we build around Frank and KP. But that comes down to that's what the Knicks that's the plan. Is that what the Knicks? What the Knicks are planning to do, or that's what they're looking at. Even though we have Moutier right now, which I don't see Moutier in our future. I know he's there right now. So
okay,
but you have some building blocks with Robinson.
We definitely got some building blocks, man. Allonzo Trier, Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox, Frank Ntilikina. Yeah,
and
we got some things working.
I like Rozier is that he's aggressive. He finishes at the basket. He can create his own shot. We haven't had something like that, And I think maybe he has a chip on his shoulder because because he didn't get drafted. Sometimes players like that, like, all right, you guys didn't pick me. Let me show you, what I can do.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Hey, Ron, man.
And it's crazy. So, Frank, Sam, I was gonna ask you, do you think for this year, right? Then if they don't make the playoffs, how many games would you say is realistic for this team right now to win this year?
I think about 33 games is realistic.
That would be considered like for this team for not making the playoffs, over 30 games.
Yeah, I think we get over 30 games. I'd love to see us make a push for the playoffs, but I think we'll be somewhere around 30 games, 33 games, something like that. So we'll see.
Now, the trading deadline, you think they may be looking to move Courtney Lee and make more room for salary, or you think they'll try to pick up a veteran point? Do you think this team will do okay with a veteran point guard or no?
I think if you have a veteran point guard that really knew what they were doing, this team could be one of those teams that make a push towards the playoffs with a veteran point guard. I think they could, but I don't think that's the right move though. Right, I think.
Yeah, think Mario Chalmers or Tony Parker would not be a good fit for this team. Like if they thought they could make a push for the AC and then
see, I think that they would be a good fit and they probably would help us make a push towards the 8th seed. But I think it's more important. Like I want to be in the 8th seed, but I want to do it with our young players. You know what I mean? I want to be in the playoffs, but I want to do it with the young players. I'm kind of like, let's just keep playing. Let's not, make a move that's going to cripple us. Let's keep playing or a move that's going to stunt the growth of our guys. Let's keep playing with these guys. If they can make it, they can make it. If not, then, they don't. But, because if you bring in Tony Parker, he's going to start. And then, if you're trying to develop Frank, although Tony Parker would be a great mentor for Frank, But then you're not.
I'm thinking about
Frank's
like
not getting
practice,
that
like
same
during practice,
minutes.
because the reason I asked that is because I noticed that Scott Perry brought in Rasheed Wallace to work with Robinson.
Right.
So sometimes if a guy comes in, maybe you don't get him just because he's going to start, just to help develop, to push Frank, during practice. So of course Rasheed Wallace not playing, but some of these players, maybe if they're not getting no burn on the other team, you bring him in to push Tony Parker or to push Rozier or whatever. Rasheed Wallace, he's not even part of the Knicks staff, but obviously they brought him in to work with Robinson.
Right.
And I noticed him
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
So if that's going to mess up I know it's toward the end of the game, like what happened the other night sometimes, but of course, that comes with experience when we can't close out a game, like Fizz was saying. So, but if I see I'm only saying in case if this team overachieves, if this team happens to overachieve when we're like a few games out of the 8th spot, but if you're gonna do it with the youth, then so be it. We get our bumps and bruises, and they'll learn. From the experience.
That's it. All right, Ron, man, I appreciate the call. All right, and next time,
all right, brother,
next time you'll understand the chat a little bit. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try on the computer next time. See if it's easier that way.
Bet. All right,
bro.
Man. All right, peace. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I would love to make the playoffs. I really would, but I don't want to give up the development of our youth for the playoffs. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to pick up. I don't want to pick up a vet because I do. If we had someone like Tony Parker, I can guarantee you we can make a push towards that 8th seed and really be there. Or some kind of veteran point guard that way that really knows how to run what Fizdale wants to do, just because they have so much experience. But to me, making a push towards that spot is not worth Frank Ntilikina's development at that position or any other player's development at their positions or that position or whatever it is. If we can make it, I'd love to make it with the guys that we have and the young guys that we have. Let me get to a couple of super chats that we have in here. Robert Paris. Oh, actually, Mighty Knicks. Thank you for the super chat. You said and it looks like Viv took your advice, Marty. He said Viv needs an Uber for Viv, and he said I told you guys Mitch was better than Cantor. I wish we had the Phil Jackson Dream Team, Frank, Luka, and KP. Well, we got two parts of it. But we got some young guys nonetheless. But Viv, man, I hope Viv is doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Take the train or take an Uber or whatever you got to do. Just don't drive because you are in no condition, Vivek, to drive. We seen you. Robert Paris, thank you for the super chat. Said we got assets to play with. Take a bow, Scott Perry. Yes, take a bow because we got some nice young pieces. Shireen Wright said the defense kind of showed up tonight. The defense did well, gave up 106 points. We can do better. Bless Roberts said, chat, what happened? Why are teams scoring so many points with basically the same players? Is it the new NBA spacing rule? That's a good question. Good question. And it could be, the NBA spacing rule. But, also teams are shooting so many more threes than we've ever shot before in the NBA. It's crazy, but teams are scoring a lot of points. The Mighty Knicks said Reggie Miller had long arms. Going back to the Frank Ntilikina comment I made about his arms being long, but I don't think Reggie Miller's arms were as long as Frank's. And you can see it, when he shoots, how it's his arms kind of way out there somewhere. The Mighty Knicks again said Kyrie and KD just want to finesse the Knicks. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm focused on the guys that we have. Let's talk about the New York Knicks and the Washington Wizards. This is a game. Listen, I always thought that we matched up well with the Wizards. We need to beat these guys. All right. The Washington Wizards right now they're 1-7. They're a bad team. They've lost their last 5 games. They score 111 points per game. Right? They give up. Get this. Just listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. If we have a problem scoring against the Washington Wizards, then I'll be upset. Because the Washington Wizards, so far this season, are giving up 123.9 points per game. That's a lot of points to give up. Let's check it out. The Washington Wizards, they give up 123.9 points per game. They get 39.9 rebounds per game. They do average 21.9 assists. That's on the lower end of the NBA. But that 123.9 points per game, that's what they give up. That's crazy. That's crazy. That means their defense is terrible. You know, I didn't know that their defense was that bad. I really didn't. I did not know that their defense was that bad. So let's take a look. I want to take a look, and I want to go a little bit deeper into the Washington Wizards stats. All right. And see what they are allowing teams to shoot against them. Look at their defensive rating and those type of things. That's just crazy to me that they gave up basically 124 points per game. So we better be able to score. All right. Let's look at their, field goal percentage. They shoot 51.9% from the field. Right. So, we're going to have to play some defense against them, of course. All right. As we said before, well, hold up. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Let me take these out. This website does it with me every single time. Scratch that. The Washington Wizards field goal percentage. The Washington Wizards are actually towards the bottom of the league, 23rd, 44.3%. The New York Knicks, 44.3% as well. All right. The Wizards shoot 32% from three. 39.9 rebounds per game, 21.9 assists per game. All right, they average 15.1 turnovers per game. All right, this is a team that we can handle the same way that we just handled the Dallas Mavericks. Same way that we just handled the Dallas Mavericks. Defensively, let's see what their obviously their defensive rating, they may be the last in the league. All right. The Washington Wizards defensive rating is 115.9, 28th in the league. All right, we should be able to, handle these guys. The Knicks defensive rating is 109.9 at the very moment. Good for 17th in the league. All right. The Washington Wizards, they allow how many points per turnover? They allow 18 points off of turnovers is what they allow. We should be able to capitalize off that because, it's about middle of the pack, 22nd in the league. We should be able to capitalize off that, score off of turnovers, because they do turn the ball over a little bit, not tremendously, but a little bit. They turn the ball over again. The Washington Wizards, how many turnovers per game again? The Washington Wizards average, let's find them here. They're 19th in the league. They average 15.1 turnovers per game. It's not horrible, but it is, a team that we can turn over and score on the offensive side in transition or, score off of turnovers. This is a team that we should be able to beat. It's a team that we should be able to beat. We play harder than them. And let's put it like this. The Washington Wizards, they're on their last leg. They're a team that's on their last leg. Right. I'm here. I'm in DC. I know about them a little bit. They're a team that, kind of like, the Chicago Bulls without Derrick Rose. They would fight, get into the playoffs, fight a little bit, but they never had much. They had a little bit of smoke, but not much fire behind them. And I think this is it for them. After this season, I think the Washington Wizards are breaking down. They may be one of the worst teams in the league this year. I don't know if they come back from, they've had slow starts like this in the past and come back. I don't know if they do this year. I just feel like they don't have the chemistry. They have internal issues. I think that the Knicks, if we play the way that we play tonight, we can go down. We can come down here and beat the Washington Wizards. Back to New York with a 2-game win streak, 4-6 with a 2-game win streak. All right. And that's what I'm expecting. If we go there and we play with the same energy, the same fight, the same desire, we can beat this team. We should be able to score on them. They give up 123 points, 124 points per game. Anthony, what's popping, bro?
Sim, what's good, killer?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling. How are you?
Well, hey, I'm always great after a Knicks victory.
Always.
So I'm doing lovely. But I kind of chimed in for a hot second, and I'm not going to put anybody on blast, but I heard nonsense about trading Tim Hardaway to Utah for second-round picks and other foolishness. Like, only in New York, okay? Only in New York, where we have bus drivers pretend to be brain surgeons, and we have police officers pretend to be basketball aficionados, do we get such nonsense after a Knicks victory? This man is averaging almost 25 points a game, has a stellar third quarter, and yet still after the game, we're talking about trading Tim Hardaway. Like I said, I wasn't listening to the whole thing, so give me a little feeling, Sim. Tell me I misheard what I heard.
I don't know if he didn't actually say that he would trade Tim Hardaway. He just said this is something that he heard, like a rumor that he heard out there. And that, the purpose would be if they were going to trade him in that scenario. And I don't think this was anything, that's it was just maybe something that some writer somewhere said, here's a possibility. And the point was saying that it would free cap space for the summer of 2019. But I don't think he was saying that he wanted to do it. I think he was just saying this is a rumor that I heard.
Tim, the common denominator is this. Every time someone other than Tim Hardaway plays well, be it Damon Dotson, be it Iso Trier, be it whoever, the next night or whenever we get on, it's immediately, how can we move Tim Hardaway to let this person in, to let that person in? You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't make this up. This is summer. We've been doing this since summer league. We've been doing this since summer league, and if I dare to go any further, since last year. It's old. It's tired. Be glad for what you have. You have someone that in a moment's notice, and I say this because I go back to watching John Starks, and there was nobody, and I'm sure you do as well, and there was nobody that could be cold, iceberg cold, and then all of a sudden you're winning the game with him. Or he's going to do something to help you win the game, with a pass, a shot, a defensive play. Like, what is all this hate for? We are watching Fizdale galvanize a young team. I haven't heard sneakers squeal like this in 20 years.
Okay.
Have you heard sneakers squeal like this in 20 years?
I'm with you. I haven't seen these guys play like this in a very, very long time. I mean, we've never had, I can't remember having this kind of youth and athleticism. I don't know if I just can't remember since the last 20 years, 2 decades, man.
We didn't even think it. When we got Noah Vonleh, it was like, okay, hope this guy can be a decent practice player. Don't even know about him. All of a sudden, he's a starting power forward, grabbing 10 rebounds, 8-9 rebounds, throwing his body around. All of a sudden now, we look like something, right? Now, even with the losses, can you not look at this team and go, we look like something? We look like we could be a problem here in this East, night in and night out, because the one thing that we can do, our sneakers squeal. We're not great rebounding, but Allonzo Trier, on-ball defense. Damon Dotson, on-ball defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got some guys who are real on-ball defenders. We got a young guy that can maybe control the paint, control the weak side. You know, we're not talking about Lance Thomas in those key moments anymore. Thank God. You know, we're not doing. We got a Hezonja off the bench that drops 11. We dropped 11 points in 9 minutes tonight. Like, come on, family. Like, I know you guys want it. I want it too. But hating our own, and I remind people, we drafted Tim Hardaway Jr. We drafted this man. Like, what is it about our own? We want to eat our young. Why?
Well, let me say this. The past 4 games, Tim Hardaway has given me no reason at all to want to get on him. He hasn't. I mean, he just hasn't. And I'm hoping that listen, like I said to Mark earlier, he shot 41.7% from the field tonight. But I don't have a problem because every single shot that he took was just a good shot. That's been always my biggest argument with Tim Hardaway Jr., that and his defense, right? I have no qualms with him right now. I feel good. I feel good about what he's doing the past few games, and I'm just hoping that he continues to play that way. That's all I can say. You know, I just want him to continue to play the way that he's been playing. I'm going to give a guy props no matter how much I've slapped him around. I'm going to give a guy props when I think they need the props, when I think it's due. And I think right now it's due because he's been playing the kind of game that I hope that he would play. You know, and I'm going to be honest with you too. I think some of it, a lot of it, goes to having Frank Ntilikina at that point guard spot. Because with Trey Burke, you know, Frank Ntilikina is going to make sure that we get into the set so that Tim Hardaway can come off those screens and get good shots or get the ball in a good spot. Trey Burke really wasn't doing that.
That's all I was trying to say about Trey Burke. I got a friend, he wanted to anoint Trey Burke as the starting point guard since last year. And I'm like, fam, Trey Burke is a good story. Trey Burke is a hard worker. But Trey Burke is not that point guard that you think he is. You would rather have him come off the bench looking to spark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Well, I mean, we'll see. Listen, I'm going to tell you what. Tim Hardaway's not going anywhere. I don't care who wants to trade him, he's not going anywhere. I mean, I've seen firsthand the relationship between Scott Perry, Tim Hardaway Sr., Steve Mills. He's not going anyplace. I can guarantee you that. Not until his contract is up, and then, you know, we'll see what happens after the contract. But up until his contract is here, I don't think Tim Hardaway is going anywhere. That relationship is too close. It's too tight.
And even with relationship and all, slight relationship aside, we are too gung-ho and looking at 2019 on guys. Why are we setting ourselves up for another failure? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Does Kevin Durant, does he really seem like he wants this life? You understand what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Does Kyrie Irving really seem like he wants this life? Even if he did, do you want to give him that life? Is anybody watching Kyrie Irving this year off his third knee surgery? Like, let's embrace what we have here. Let's get another draft pick. Let's talk about, you know, Zion Williamson from Duke and some of those other young guys come match him up here, and maybe we look to that next crop of free agents after 2019, 2021. We are chasing goals, crying out loud, for individuals that are not long for this state.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you go.
All right, man.
You got some fans on there, but I feel like sometimes like I'm Tim Hardaway's personal attorney.
You are. You defending that man. Tim Hardaway can shoot 1%. He can shoot 1% from the field. You still gonna come out and defend him. I feel you though. That's all right.
I will kill him when I see him. But the one thing that I will say before I get off this, that no one ever talks about, is that Tim Hardaway, besides tonight, has been going to the free throw line, I want to say roughly 6 to 7 times per game. Right? Not even looking at it. I would say 6 to 7 times per game.
Okay.
And on to get to the free throw line, you can only get there one or two ways. Shooting foul, or the team commits over the amount of team fouls, or who gets called for that, where they goes to the free throw line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I shot the ball or if I attempt to shoot and I missed it, guess what? That works against your average field goal wise. But Tim Hardaway, what's he shooting right now from the free throw percent? 87%? 88%?
Yeah, something like that.
Right? The other game he went 10 for 10 at the free throw line. Like, dude, if he misses a couple of shots, but yet still he's going to the free throw line, it evens out.
Okay. All right.
That's what I'm going to say, my brother.
All right, man.
Night.
Have a good weekend.
We're going to catch up, Tim. I'm going to try and get there for the 21st.
All right. That's what's up. Okay. Let's do it, man.
All right, my brother.
All right. Peace. All right. We're coming down to the end of the show, folks. The end of the show. I'm going to come around to the video chat. Yeah, I know tonight, we did a lot of talking I did a lot of talking. People on the phone. Got a lot of talking with folks on the phone. But I want to come around to the chat. I want to get you guys your thoughts on the Washington Wizards and New York Knicks. And then hit me with your last words, and we're going to roll on up out of here. All right? Let me see. Who am I come around to first? Ant, coming to you, man. There we go. Just give me your thoughts. Washington Wizards, New York Knicks, last words, and we're going to head out of here and get this weekend started.
This is another game that I think we can win. The Wizards are kind of a mess right now.
Yeah.
But we have to be careful with this game because John Wall and Brad Beal, they kill us every time. Mm-hmm. Every time. They do us something filthy. So Frank and Dot have their hands full. But I think they're for the challenge. I think this is a game where Frank has to give us something on the offensive end. I don't care if it's 10, 11 points. I feel like he has to give us something. Tim Hardaway Jr. has to continue to play well. And I'm interested. We saw Mitchell Robinson go up against DeAndre Jordan tonight. I'm interested to see him go up against Dwight Howard because we saw when KP would go up against Dwight would be physical, very physical. So I want to see how Robinson handles that because Dwight is a physical player. So I want to see how he responds to that. But I think it should be another closely contested game, and let's see if we can pull it out this time. My last words are: this is a good win, a win on the road. I think this team, is going to be a lot better than a lot of people expected. Not because we're super talented, but because they're showing that they come to play. They come to play. And it may have been one game this year, the Miami game, where they just didn't come to play. But every other game, man, they've came to play, and they play hard, and that could win you a few games in this league. So I'm proud of these guys. I hope they keep playing hard. Frank keep developing, Tim keep maturing, and I think we can pull out another one, get to 4-6, and feel good. If we can get out of these first 10 games at 4-6. I'll take it.
I'll take that. I'll take it. I'm with it. All right, Ant.
All right, man.
Have a good weekend. And I see my man Allonzo said I'm growing. I guess that was because I didn't throw no Timmy shade or hate. So he said I'm growing. I'm maturing. I'm maturing right along with Timmy, I guess. All right, Isaiah.
Yo.
What's good, man?
Not much, man. What a great show tonight, man. I've seen a lot of people on your chat. I'm happy for you, Sim.
Appreciate it.
I've been there. I feel like me and you did this. Nobody else. It's me and you. It's nobody else. Nobody else, man. Not your kids, not your wife. Just me and you.
Nobody. That's it.
It's just me and you, man. Nah, but great win tonight, man. We played good.
Yeah.
25. What was it? 25 or 26 assists?
26 assists, I believe it was.
Let's keep that going, man. Let's keep that going.
Yeah.
Let's keep the ball moving. I love Mitch, honestly, and I'll be honest with you too, Sam. I'm done with Cantor. I don't like Cantor, man, because it's one thing to be a leader when you got your stats, but it's another thing you gotta accept. Being a leader, you gotta accept, like, okay, the team's not doing well, and they want to do this. He should have said, I'm 100% with Mitchell Robinson starting. I'm not good on defense. We need defense. It's just, I don't like his attitude, man, and we don't need that on this team. And if he wants to keep acting like this because he's not starting and getting his stats, then it is what it is with him. But I love everybody on this team, man. I love how we playing. We playing hard and we're playing exciting. And we're on the right way, man. We are, man. And everybody enjoy the weekend. Be safe. Have fun. We see everybody back on Sunday.
Sunday night.
Me and Sim got an announcement. It's our show. It's the Isaiah show now. So, it's called Nothing But Condoms because, Sim just don't know. Nobody know how to wear those out here, man.
This guy.
I'm tired, man. I'm going to bed. Man.
He is. I mean, how this how much sense Isaiah's making. He's saying that because I'm 42 and I got I got a granddaughter and a grandson on the way. I mean, that's not me. That's my son. You got to talk to my son about that, not me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I talk to my son about that. But anyway, let me get to Prince. Prince, what's popping, man?
Man, Sam, like I said, looking forward to this, this game against Washington. It would definitely, we definitely could use another W in the win column before we got to take that trip out west. Looking forward to seeing some more progression in Mitchell Robinson and Trier. I didn't get to speak about that, but again, man, those guys are definitely, like you said, pillars in the foundation of this new Knicks, the new Fizz Kids, crew. So I'm definitely happy to see them. Tim Hardaway Jr., he's doing what he can do right now, but I think my point of view, what I was saying about the whole trade facet was just seeing him, if he can, either restructure a contract or we might trade you because, again, we probably could break into two max contracts next year. But much like you said, I do respect the fact that chemistry and that respect between him and Black Wall Street is there. So, again, right now, I don't think he'll be shopped around or even, disrespected like that. But I mean, going into next summer, if you want to help us win, it would help, if you could throw a couple of them dollars back. Going into the Washington game, definitely we definitely got to guard Bradley Beal and John Wall, and play good basketball with them because, like I said, same thing Angie said it too earlier. They kill us all the time. So hopefully, like I said, our defense, we remember that butt kicking we got, in preseason, and definitely we take that to heart and come out and play with, play Knick basketball like we've been playing lately. And then shout out to you, Sim. I know you don't really pat yourself on the back much, bro. But I was looking at the chat. We did you put up 550 tonight, man. That's good numbers, bro. You know what I'm saying? So definitely nothing but Knicks, man. We out here. There's nothing but love, man. Hey, if you ain't subscribed, show love, send super chat. You know what I'm saying? Hey, keep doing your thing, Sim. See you on Sunday, bro. Shout out to chat.
All right.
Mark, Guillermo, Nate. Peace, man.
Peace. And Sunday night, man, I'm going to be live the whole game. I'm going to be live on the whole game Sunday night. Yeah, so that's going to be, that's going to be fun. I'm going to be at the game, but I'm going to be live the whole game. So, you guys can feel free to join me. You won't be able to call in or video in, but we'll be able to talk. All right. Mark.
Do you notice who's coloring on the basketball?
You there?
Yo.
Yes, sir, man.
Yo, Sim, you was hyped tonight. What got into you tonight?
Huh?
I said, what got into you tonight? You hyped.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You like that win, right?
Yeah. I mean, I love the win. I love the win, man. Losing ain't in my DNA, man.
They looking like the worst team in the NBA, so we might get a win. But then again, listen, man, I don't trust my Knicks like that. So all the Knicks fans, let's tone this down. I know it's a great win tonight, but let's not get hyped yet until they win. When they play tomorrow?
No, Sunday. Play Sunday.
They play Sunday. So let's not get hyped, guys. Tonight was Fizz did his thing on the defensive end, and I liked it because he just put in the player that I wanted to put in from the start.
Yeah.
So he can understand the pace of the game, understand where he needs to be, understand defenses, how teams gonna play him. Because he was passing out the post too. When he was giving it to him, they were setting the offense to the post with him. If they run the handoff, so when he hands it off and he dives to the rim, he get the alley-oop every time, because there's a lot of plays where they forget to pass it to him and he's just wide open. Yeah. That's why I wanted to penetrate as a point guard that's going to penetrate, because that help him. But
right? Nah, I feel you.
It was a good night tonight. Just keep up that pick and roll defense, and I will be the most happiest camper this year. And we still not winning 29 games, so everybody get that out your head.
Okay, we'll see, Mike. We'll see. Let's see if we can get this win. We end out of here 4-6, man. We might be on the way.
You see our schedule coming up? Are you bugging, bro?
We're gonna keep fighting.
Listen, I like that we're fighting. That's what I love the most. Just don't go out like no punks. If they don't go out like punks, I'm happy with that.
We'll fight, and let's see if we'll see if we've learned how to do some things in the fourth quarter. But
yeah, that's our main problem. Yeah. Because even tonight, I said I'm not even gonna get hype at my TV, because that fourth quarter we always get our ass kicked.
Yeah, well, we'll see. It's gonna take us some time to turn the corner, but we'll see.
One more question.
Go ahead.
If Knox come back, would you still want him to come off the bench?
In the meantime, I'd start him off the bench and then see where it goes from there.
Because honestly,
I like to see him in that starting forward spot where Vonleh is, but I think when he comes back from the beginning, I'd bring him off the bench.
Because I like him come off the bench because, number one, he has a lot of defensive lots, and if he wants to play, he's gonna have to play defense, and I think that will force him to want to play defense. That's why I'm only thinking of him to come off the bench, because of that. I know his talent, calls for the starting role, but he has a lot of bad defensive habits, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
So if he wants a spot, he has to play the defense that this team needs him to play as the wing defender. That's including grabbing rebounds.
I feel you. All right,
Good night, chat.
I'm gonna be back on Sunday night, man. I'm gonna be on the whole game. So.
All right, man. I'll be there.
All right. Peace. And I guess this was Nate. I don't know where Nate went. So I'm taking Nate up out of here. Oh, there he goes. Now he jumps in. Sorry, you, Nate. What was you doing?
I was just chilling, man. Sorry. Yeah, man. I mean, you got to be happy with the progress this team is making. This is the reason why you brought in a coach like Fizdale, because if you look at the players that have improved their game, Dot, Ntilikina, Robinson, Hardaway, I mean, those guys have taken their game to another level, and I credit the coaching staff. I credit the development of these players. And, I don't know if you heard Fizdale said he's not in the market of chasing wins, but more player development. I was kind of rubbed the wrong way when he kind of said that, because I think you always want to win. But I think that, he puts a competitive lineup out there. And this lineup that he put out after that first lineup, I think this one's going to stick. I mean, you might tweak the 4 position a little bit depending on Vonleh's if you can get more scoring out of him and more defense.
Mm-hmm.
But this lineup's going to stick. I honestly think, unless injuries, hopefully no injuries, but Robinson has earned himself the spot to start there for the rest of the year. I mean, this guy is taking his game better and better every game, and Frank is hold down the point guard position. Dodd is now our 3. You can't move him. Maybe Knox gets into the starting lineup, but this team just is just fun to watch. A lot of good depth, a lot of young players, and they're buying into what Fizdale wants to do.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy that the Knicks are competitive. They're giving some of the best teams a run for their money, and hey, hopefully we can turn those into wins soon.
All right, let's see if we can do it. All right, Nate, have a good weekend, man. And
you too. See you Sunday.
See you
or
Sunday.
Talk to you. We'll hear you Sunday.
Yeah. All right. Peace, man.
All right, later.
Have a
Bye.
good one. All right, Guillermo.
Yeah, man. This is be real quick. This is a great win by Fizdale. Again, he made some proper substitutions, which I liked a lot. He made them really quickly too. He wasn't playing around. He really sent home the message, man. You got to defend, got to play smart basketball, pass, see the open guy, no unnecessary ISOs, no unnecessary dribbling. I thought it was beautiful, man. You had guys like Dotson who played well. He only had 10 points. Frank played well. He only had 7 points. Tim Hardaway and your boy Trier, they're the main guys. But again, tonight, I have to give it to Tim Hardaway, man. He conceded so many times to allow Frank to run the offense. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And when they get that pick and roll offense running with your man Mitch, it could be really scary, man. Mitch has to gain some weight, some strength, but the kid's only 19. So, it takes time. But, they keep running it that way. The pick and roll, drive to the basket, dish out to the perimeter guys. This team could be good, man. I'm not saying we're playoff bound or anything, but, with this Wizard.
Nope, not sure what happened there. Maybe his phone went dead. But anyway, we're at the end of the night. Big shout out to Dan for the super chat. Said, can't wait for K Knox's return. I'm with you. I cannot wait for Kevin Knox to return either. I don't think it's going to be Sunday, but I think he's going to come back to the team Monday, something like that. So, and then we'll see what happens at that point. At that point, we'll see if, Kevin Knox gets back into that starting lineup. But very, very encouraged, ladies and gentlemen. You should be too. But I'm out of here. It's 1:27 a.m. Got a weekend ahead of me. I know you guys got a weekend ahead of you. And I'll be at the Knicks game, the Knicks Wizards. I'll be there Sunday. I'll be broadcasting from the game. Just on my phone, sitting, I'll be sitting in my seats with a couple of people with me. So, and I'll be on live the whole game. So enjoy the game, enjoy the show. It's going to be fun. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Have a great weekend. Viv, I hope you made it home safely, my man. Peace.